Hey, what up? Mickey G here. I'm here with my boy Sean. He wants to get into real estate investing and he has some questions he wanted to ask. I wanted to make sure that I videoed it so I could share with you guys the answers to the questions. Sean, man, thanks for coming, bro.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, let me know what your first question is and I'll try to answer it for you.
Sure. So my first question, I don't have any real estate experience. I've never done anything in this market before. I like to start learning about how to flip houses, like obviously. So as a beginner, what would you suggest be my first deal for like flipping? What should I look for in a first house to flip?
So, okay, let's break it down a little bit. So when you say what should you look for, so we're talking about what area should you look in, right? Where should you find a house? So area is important, and the reason why is there's a very specific ARV that you want to accomplish when you're buying your house. And that ARV is, in the Baltimore, DC area, is generally around like 150 to 400,000. I mean, ARV is an after repair value. So you want to buy homes that when you're done fixing them up, they're going to sell for about $150,000 to $400,000. The reason why is it's a first-time home buyer market. And when you're in a first-time home buyer market, you sell really quickly and things are easy because there's plenty of buyers for it. So that's kind of where I would start. I'd find neighborhoods that, first of all, are old enough that the houses need renovation, and number two, the ARV stays within 150 to 400,000. For a couple reasons, you don't have to invest as much money, but reason two, you are going to be really focusing on first-time home buyers. They sell much faster. There's a bigger buyer pool for that. So, next question.
So you mentioned you want to target first-time home buyers. Is that what you said?
First-time home buyers.
First-time home buyers? Okay.
Yes, people that were renting or living with their parents but previously didn't own a home, and their first house they're going to buy is going to be this house that they're buying.
Okay.
They're very appreciative of that new home. Versus people that are currently living in a home won't move from that home unless that home is bigger and better than the current home they're in. So they tend to be pickier and also more patient because they don't need a house to live in right now. They can just stay where they're at.
Along those same lines, what should be the type of funding that I should have for kind of like a first deal going into this?
So there's a couple ways you can fund a house. First way is that I like to use is I actually get private money, and I do that so that I can have about 30 to 50K of my own money into the deal. And when I do that, then I can borrow the rest from a hard money lender. The hard money lender is going to lend to you, and they're going to charge you somewhere in the range of like 13 to 14% and anywhere from 2 to 5 points. But what they're doing for you is if you need $150,000 to your deal, generally they will give you most of that money. You'll have to put money down, and you'll have to float some of the work until you get paid the draws back. But you have minimum money out of your pocket and maximum money leverage coming. The problem is, though, is that you do end up having to pay somewhere between 10 to 15 grand of your deal to the hard money lender. So that's something to consider. The second way is if you currently own a home, you can do an equity line. And if you can get an equity line for that 150 grand, then you could be an all-cash buyer. The equity line generally would be at 3 or 4%. It would be very affordable, so it really helps you have that ability to certainly just have money, but have cheap money. That's really the key. And then the third thing would be is if you're all cash. Like, let's just say for some reason you're independently wealthy, you've saved your money, you have a lot of cash and you want to invest. I certainly always advise doing all cash. All cash gives you a very clear advantage over your competitors because most of your competitors will not be all cash. They'll literally be taking loans, and when they take a loan, they have to buy the deals for somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000 cheaper than you because of that cost that they incur and that cost of doing business. Most people are doing that, so cash is always going to be king. However, if you don't have cash, don't ever believe you can't do it. We have ran our business. We've done about 500 rehabs to date. I can't tell you that we pay cash for almost anything. I mean, we literally always believe in the model of using OPM, other people's money, because it allows us to leverage. And I always look at, like, if my 30 grand is out there and I leverage that 30 grand into 150,000 from a hard money lender, I'm looking at a cash on cash return. So my $30,000 actually performs much better than if I'm going to put 150,000 out. My rate of return is much lower. So for me, I'm always going to go for the leverage, but if you do have the cash, I suggest you do that because that always makes the most sense.